Chase over here. We're gonna go ahead and talk to you a little bit about Rojas trucks, and this is like the easiest ways to assemble, disassemble, work on your bushings, bearings, maintenance, everything that you might need to know. Yeah, so I'm going to start out telling you about the bushings and the best way to put them on. It's very easy to put on a soft bushing, like the white, the softest bushing we have. Slides on super easy because of how soft the urethane is. But I get a lot of people telling me that it's almost impossible for them to get the blue bushing or the black bushing, which is a 95 and a 93A, on and off of the base plate. Mostly the 30 plate, because the 30 plate, the washer is actually built into the base plate rather than separate. So instead of sliding it into the bushing, before you slide the bushing on, you have to slide both of the pins and the spacer on at the exact same time. Okay, so when applying the 93 or 95A bushings, I found it's much easier to add some type of hand lotion or lotion onto the spacer and onto the pins. And then maybe just a tiny bit on the inside of the bushing hole. You do not need much, just a tiny little bit to lubricate it. And then whenever you go to push it on, pop on the bottom pin and then the top pin first, and then it'll slowly slide on to the bushing spacer. Without some type of lubricant, this is almost impossible. But with lubricant, it's very easy, and if you're on the race hill and you need to swap your bushings in between runs or during practice, it's much easier to be able to do it really fast so that you can, get on with your skating. Okay, so when it comes to taking off the holder bushings, I found it's a lot easier to find something with a flat surface, like a flathead screwdriver. A butter knife works really well. I tend to travel with my throwing knife. A lot of people find that funny at the race hill when I pop it out, but it works really good. You just stick it underneath the bushing and pop out the top end and then pop out the bottom end, and you can get one of the hardest bushings off in just a couple of seconds. Super easy. It's no problem. Yeah, we got bushings on and off. Yeah. Okay, so on the topic of bushings, if you've kept up with the Rojas over the past years, you'd see that we've started with a round bushing, and we use this for the first few years until phasing it out to the clover bushing that you see now. It helped a lot with performance and lifetime of the bushing, and I think it's a lot better bushing, although these are still can be skated, and you can modify them actually more since there's more urethane to be messed with. The lifetime of the bushings is, while it's longer than a normal bushing, since Rojas use tension and compression rather than simply compression the whole time that you're skating them, they're not just being mashed down. It also gives them the strong center point that you know and hopefully love, and so because of that, where you're going to see the weight of your bushing is on the holes of them. You're going to get these little tears that you see in this one, and it's going to take at least a few months for this to happen, and that's only going to be possible with a very soft bushing in a few months. The hard bushings are going to have a longer lifespan because they don't get quite as much movement, but in a soft bushing you could see some small cracks within a few months. Within 6 months, I'd say that you're going to notice some substantial, cracks, in which time you should invest in new bushings. I personally have skated Rojas for 6 years now, and I've never once seen a bushing fail, and I've got some with some extremely big, cracks that I should not be skating, but I still do for the fun of it, and never seen one fail, so don't worry about that. Another big question I get about the bushing chart is the high rebound and low rebound factor, and me and almost anyone who has skated them for long periods of time has learned to completely ignore that, because the diameter difference between one bushing to the next is so much more substantial than the rebound difference that it's really not a factor. Just pay attention to the diameter, don't pay attention to the high rebound or low rebound. Okay, just to go ahead and give you the denominators, we got the white bushing, 83A, the purple, which is now clear bushing, coming in at 84A, red 86, orange 88, yellow 90, green 92, blue 93, and black 95. So recently we've updated the purple bushing, which is the 84A bushing. It was running actually around 86A, which is the red bushing in diameter, and it had something to do with the purple dye in it, so because of that we went ahead and updated it to a clear bushing. It's coming in at exactly 84A, and it's I've skated it. A lot of people in Australia have been skating it, I've been seeing, and seems everyone's liking it, and it's a good improvement. We also updated the black bushing about 12 months ago from a compound that was coming in. It was supposed to be 95A, but was actually somewhere between a 92A green bushing and the 93A blue bushing. We recently updated it though to a new compound. It's coming in at 95A exactly. So if you have gotten the black bushing within the past 12 months, it will be the new formula, which is what you would like. If it's old, if you got a black bushing older than 12 months, then it is likely the softer one, which is still a good bushing, but is coming in, like I said, a little bit softer. So a big misconception of these trucks is that the bushing has any load or support downward on it at all. When this truck is assembled, you're going to put your bushing down with your bushing spacer in, obviously. Your bearings in your truck. Slide the truck on. Outside bearings. An axle nut. Now when this tightens down, the axle nut is going to tighten down on the outside washer, which is going to transfer into the bushing spacer. The bushing itself won't be compressed at all in a downward manner. It's only ever going to be compressed whenever you turn a corner, and it's going to be compressed on one side and it's going to have tension on the other side. Okay, another common thing that I get asked about Rojas, which is pretty unique about them, they have a set tightness. That is, you do not compress the bushing, you tighten it down as far as the nut goes, and then that is the set tightness. You can't tighten and loosen your bushing to make your truck looser or tighter. You change the bushing to do so, which is how it should be on most trucks, but people tend to get out of hand and start over-tightening the bushings. So you're going to tighten it all the way until it's snug, and give it about a quarter crank after that, to make sure it's extra tight. And then what you're going to do is give it kind of a prying motion left and right to see if there's any slop in between the bushing cover and the hanger. If there is some, that means one of two things. Either it's not tightened down all the way, or you have a bad axle nut that is not letting it tighten down all the way, and in which case put a new axle nut on there, tighten it back down, and you shouldn't have a problem. In my time skating Rojas and helping people with them, I've seen a lot of people put their bearings in and their washers in upside down in the wrong way. It's very simple, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you right now so you know. You're going to go ahead and put the bearing out this way. It's pretty simple. This is clearly the back side. This is the front side. Put the front side out, washer the groove side in so that the bearings sit inside of the groove. The Rojas label out. Okay, so when you get a new package of bearings, which, let's go ahead and talk about the lifespan, you should be replacing these probably every, I'm going to say 3 to 6 months. You can go towards the 6 month side of things if you're cleaning them actively in between every couple of lane sessions. These trucks have obviously more moving parts than most trucks, and they're steel parts, which is rust resistant, but they can still acquire rust over time. So you're going to want to dry them off after a lane session and then add just the tiniest bit of lubricant to them. I personally like Scanoo. It's a little bit of a thick lubricant. It cleans and lubricates, so I typically hit it with a drop, wipe them off a little bit to get the moisture and dirt off of them, and put them back in. when getting a new package in, they're going to come with 2 washers and 1 bearing in each package. It's going to take 2 packages to set up 1 truck, a total of 4 packages for your 2 trucks. It's going to come with a washer that says Rojas on it. This is going to be your outside washer. You have a bearing, which is going to go behind the outside washer, and then they have 1 more washer in here that does not say Rojas on it. This is for the inside of your trucks. This is a washer that is no longer removable with Rojas. It used to be in the past, in which case we've now Loctited it in because there's no need for it to come out. You can throw this washer out. It is not able to be used as the outside washer, as it is a tiny bit smaller to fit the inside, and it will lead to a little bit of slop if you try to use it on the outside. So make sure that the outside washer on your Rojas always reads Rojas. Okay, so the slop that I talked about previously with either a bad axle nut or with you potentially using an inside washer on the outside, which you should have thrown away, can lead to the slop in between the hanger and the bearing washer. It'll be just the tiniest little bit of wiggle room. This can lead to a very bad feel when skating. So you're going to want to fix the problem. If it's either the washer or if it's the axle nut, replace them, tighten it down, and then it should be fixed. As you can see, there's no slop though. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the base plates. When you buy Rojas, they come with 2 45 cast base plates. These cast base plates, I would recommend buying them with a 30 plate, which is an additional purchase to the trucks at $90, which is a very good deal, honestly. The 30 plates very necessary in my opinion if you're going to be using them for downhill or any speeds above 40, or if you plan on wedging them bigger than 7 degrees. The 30 plate is precision milled aluminum, but the plates that comes with the Rojas are 45 cast plates. Like any cast plate, it's not even close to as strong as a precision plate, and it can be broken. With Rojas, I've been skating them for 5 to 6 years now, and in that time I've broken a couple of base plates. Only the cast version, obviously. They tend to break in one point. It's at the bottom of the 3rd pin on the bottom. It is not a common thing. Like I said, I've been skating them for 6 years now. I've broken 2 base plates, which, while it can happen, is very unlikely. But luckily, if you buy the 30 plate, whenever you purchase these trucks, you will have 2 45 plates, which you should be using one for the front and a 30 plate on the back, in which case you will have an extra 45 plate if something ever happened to your front. But like I said, it's extremely unlikely. It takes a massive impact, like your board running into a curb or something like that, to cause a base plate to break. Okay, so the width options in the past, although most are now sold out, go from 184, 174, 165, 145 to 129 spaceables, which is what the majority of the people in the recent months have been buying. And then this is a chopped hanger, which I sent off to Rolling Tree to have chopped. It cost around $70 to have them chopped. They actually mill them down. You can mill Rojas down to 108 millimeters. You can, from any width down to 108. What we found is we milled one set down to 106, and some wheels were actually rubbing the hanger, so we figured we bumped them out with a couple of spacers. 108 tends to be the narrowest you can go with if you want to skate most wheels. Alright, so hopefully some of this advice and tips on how to put your Rojas together, take them apart, and fix any issues you have with them are helpful. I feel like that the very specific truck with a lot of things going on, a lot more than any other truck. I like to joke around and call them turning mechanisms, because a little bit more of that than there was an average skateboard truck. So with so many things going on, it's just good to have some knowledge about them. If you skate them yourself for a long period of time, you're going to find these things out yourself, but figured I might as well help you out. And if there's any other questions, feel free to comment below. We can help you out, me and Adam and the whole squad skates Rojas. So feel free to ask anything you need. Like I said, hopefully it helped. Thanks for watching. Please check out any of our videos. Just about all of them will skate Rojas. Hope you are excited for the new 2020 Rojas we got coming out this year also. Thank you.
Rain, make it rain, girl, make it. 매주 하는 생각. What if it's just me? 영화 한 편 끝나듯이. As real as it can be. 급급했던 기억들은 where I can't just see. 창문 없는 방에 when I am so free. Mother Russia in my cup, and my glass is fogging up. Oh yeah, hey dog, hey what's up?
Oh yeah, hey dog, hey what's up?
When the sweaty walls are banging, I don't fuck with family planning. Make it rain, girl, make it rain. 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 Make it rain, girl, make it. 매주 하는 생각. What if it's just me? 영화 한 편 끝나듯이. As real as it can be. 급급했던 기억들은 where I can't just see. 창문 없는 방에 when I am so free. Mother Russia in my cup, and my glass is fogging up. Oh yeah, hey dog, hey what's up?
Oh yeah, hey dog, hey what's up?
When the sweaty walls are banging, I don't fuck with family planning. Make it rain, girl, make it rain. 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 Make it rain, girl, make it. Mother Russia in my cup. Make it rain, girl, make it rain. 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 Make it rain, girl, make it. 가만히 서 있던 자리. Nobody can really find me. 창문 없는 방이 작지. Or when I am so free defines me.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the bushing chart and the arrangement of bushings we have. This would be all of them right here, starting with the 83A bushing and ending in the 85A bushing.
95A bushing.
Fuck, sorry. Okay, we're going to restart. We're going to go ahead and talk about the bushing chart and the bushing arrangement. We have the 83A bushing at the softest, and we have a 95A at the hardest bushing. This is the black, and this is the white. You can edit that out. Recently, we've updated the 84A bushing, which is the second to softest. It has typically been a purple bushing that comes in around 85A, actually, which is the diameter of the red bushing. So, yes, that's a fact, Adam.
86. That's 86.
This is 86?
Yeah.
Fuck.